Hi, everybody. It's Bob Ost. Welcome. This is Theater Resources Unlimited. Those of you who don't know us, we're a small arts organization in New York. And what we do, kind of in a nutshell, is we help artists as well as producers understand and navigate the business of theater. So we help develop artists, we help develop new plays and all sorts of stuff that's creative. But we focus a lot on the business side of things, so because we think that that's pretty important if people are going to have any level of success in this crazy business called theater. Um, we we're no, we're located in Manhattan, but since we started this Zoom in 2020, it was April 17th, 2020, just to be exact. Um, Suddenly things happened that I wasn't expecting. Was really I didn't know we all didn't know what to do with ourselves when shutdown happened. It's like, what do we do? Do we really have to stay in our apartments? No, they don't really mean that, not literally. Well, they did. They meant it literally. So I opened up a Zoom room at other people's suggestion, and they begged me. I resisted Zoom as long as I could. I finally said, "All right, I'll do it." Opened up a room, and all of a sudden, people were coming in every Friday at 5 o'clock. It was 4:30 at the time. Now it's 5 o'clock. Uh, this little New York-based arts organization that I started 34 years ago, um, suddenly we have people coming in from all over the world. Uh, I have a following in Australia. We have people in Singapore. We have UK, of course. We have Scotland. Well, that's part of the UK. I'm trying to think other places. Germany, France. They find us from all over the place, and we have people coming in from all over the United States. Today in our room we have a lot of New York people, actually more New Yorkers than usual, but we do have a lot of people that are from outside of New York here with us today. Um, Probably more New Yorkers today because we're talking about something that's New York centric a little bit. We're talking about New York festival scene, but and the other thing that's interesting is we started this Zoom room, this community gathering every week, and we had 311,000 views on YouTube from something from four weeks ago. So this was my way of saying I'm fully expecting that there are YouTube viewers out there who are just discovering us. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're with us today, and I hope that you'll actually maybe even reach out and become part of the community and come with us and be with us when we're actually recording. So every week 300, no, 290 consecutive weeks around since 2017, April 17th, 2017, April 17th, 2020. Hello. Um, I've been coming up with topics and things to talk about. And one of the themes that is a popular theme, and we've done on and off for a lot of these conversations. They've been about the development process, developing new works for theater. And one of the aspects of developing new works for theater that I happen to believe in strongly, and I think is really a good thing for everybody to think about if you're writing a play and don't know where to go with it, the festival scene. We've done a couple things recently about the Edinburgh Festival, which I went to this year. It was amazing, overwhelming, but it was amazing. Um, and I figured, if I'm doing three shows about Edinburgh, I should at least do two about New York because New York's got a lot of stuff going on here. So a couple weeks ago, no, like a month or two ago, maybe 3 months ago, I was able to talk about the return of the Midtown International Theatre Festival here in New York, and my friend John Chatterton bringing it back with my friend Jay Michaels. And now as I realize that we really need to give a bit broader overview of what's going on in New York. Um, it keeps us from having to look at a broader overview of what's going on in our country. So we'll focus on New York for now, and we won't even think about the Kennedy Center today. Um, we will talk about the different opportunities there are for you to develop your work as a playwright. Um, somebody talked about this earlier when we were doing our introductions in the room. You have a reading of your play, and then what happens? How do you jump from a reading to a full production? And one of the answers is a festival. So I'm going to start introducing you to some people that I have coming in today who are uh, we have one new festival, one returning festival, and two old friends that have been doing this for a long time. Actually, we only have one because I don't know if Zeb has made it in yet. We may not be having Frigid Festival today. I don't know what's going on with that. But anyway, let me bring my guests on. I'm going to spotlight them, and if I have enough spotlights, I'll stay on. If I don't have enough spotlights, you'll just hear my voice. So here we go. I'm going to start with the new guys in town. Faith Pasch and Matt Bader. Faith Pasch and Matt Bader have started something called Manifesto. They're going to tell you what that means. But here's Faith, and here comes Matt. So they are the Manifesto Festival.
Yeah, sure. So, hi everyone. My name is Matt Bader. I'm here with my lovely partner Faith Pasch. We are actors, writers, and newly, I guess, minted producers, if you will. We started producing last year with some shows that we had made, and then fell sort of in love with the process. Really enjoyed it. Wanted to keep doing it, to keep going with it. We've formed a theater company called Diamond Mesh Incorporated. This is our soft launch of this
We
theater
will be
company.
launching it officially in early 2026. So be
Yes.
on the lookout for an official launch on the Instagram, which we will hopefully launch in the next few weeks.
So this is
Yeah.
hot news, everybody. You guys are hearing about the launch before it's actually happened. So there.
Yeah. Absolutely. We have a contract with a venue for three new shows that we're going to be putting up with our company, and we're calling those three shows together. They fall under the umbrella of the Manifesto of comedy, which is what brings us to the festival we want to talk about today, our Manifestival series. When we had the venue booked out, we had originally thought that, oh well, this will be about the shows and that's it. But we have the month lockout effectively with the space, and there was all this other time that's like, well, we have this space, we should be doing something, we could be doing something, and that brought us around to the idea of using the space while we have it to bring in more shows that could fall under like share the same stage with our three main stage shows. We thought that would be kind of cool, but and not just kind of cool, but very very productive, very give people opportunities. So
So so just
that's who
just
we are. Yeah.
so what I'm planning on doing, I'll let everybody know. We're going to talk about each of the festivals, definitely. But what I'm also going to be doing is having some of the people that have done festivals talk to the guys that are doing the new festival and give them a little bit of advice. And you're going to ask them questions as well. So not only are we going to be talking about the opportunities for writers, but we're going to talk about I never established this. We are a producers organization primarily. We develop producers. That's one of our goals. That's one part of our mission. And so we like to look at things from the business point of view. So not only will we talk about how you apply for a festival, but we're going to talk today a little bit about how you run a festival, how you make it happen, how you offer those opportunities to other people. I'm going to bring Michael Scott Price on from one of the tried and true and favorite festivals of many people. It's the Dream Up Festival. It's done at a place called Theater for a New City downtown, which most of us know, and you'll hear more about it, I'm sure, from Michael. I'm going to have him come on, and he's going to replace you guys. Look at this magic. Oh no, what happened? Where is Michael?
I can see
Michael.
him.
All I'm
Is
seeing, oh,
Mike?
Michael,
Yeah,
say
yeah,
something.
there
There
I
you
am.
are. There you are. What happened was because Matt was talking, the spotlight thought he was still on. So there you are. So Michael, tell us what is the Dream Up Festival and how long have you been doing that? We got
Uh,
somebody. We got somebody who's like minus 6 months old, um, and now we have you. You've been around how long?
yeah, we've been around doing this festival since 2010. Theater for the New City itself has been around since 1971. So You know, the Dream Up Festival was something that kind of grew out of my job at Theater for the New City. I'm the literary manager for Theater for the New City. We had so much material, so many people submitting, and we were filling up the season, and we actually wanted to give more opportunity to people. So I talked to the artistic director, and she was like, "Well, let's just extend the season." And so we came up with the Dream Up Festival in 2010, and we've been producing new works with the festival ever since.
Well, okay, Michael. So we're going to talk a little bit more specifically about the festival. One thing I do want to just ask you is when do you open for submissions, and how many shows do you usually have in a season?
Yeah, we open for submissions every February, so it's about 2 months from now. And generally, the window for submissions is February through May, and the performances are very late August to mid-September, so like 3 weeks.
Okay, so we're
And
good.
we do about 20 to 25 productions, 7 days a week.
And I know lots of people have had a wonderful experience there. So thank you for what you do. Definitely. I'm going to
Thank
bring
you.
on John and Jay. Um, so John Chatterton and Jay Michaels. John actually he's got the history of Midtown International Theatre Festival. Um, Tell us, John, when did you start it and why? Why?
We started in 2000. I know that Jay was involved in the first year in some capacity. I was on one of his
First 3 years,
boards.
actually.
Was it?
First 3 years.
Yeah, but you came on board the first year. You did a show, Richard III, in the second year. I was publishing a little magazine called Uber, the Off-Broadway Review, the only publication devoted exclusively to the off-Broadway scene. And one of my writers, John Michael Caroli, said, this being 2 years after the Fringe NYC started, somebody ought to do a Midtown Fringe. And a couple of years later, nobody had done it. And there was no sign anyone was going to do it. So I said, well, I'll do it. And I contacted a theater. I got a bunch of companies interested, who happened to have had reviews in the Off-Broadway Review, favorable reviews, I might add. And we were going to do it at this theater, which was well equipped, had a 99-seater and a small theater attached. And a month before opening, the theater threw us out, and we had to scramble. So I contacted all the other theaters on my list and asked if they would want to do a door deal where the talent got a third, the theater got a third, and I got a third of the gross. And I found two theaters in a really, really crappy building in Midtown. The cockroaches were, I won't go there. A critic from a paper got caught in the elevator. It was really, anyway, we did it. We even rented a couple of other spaces for overflow. And we had a successful festival. I lost a little money on it, but we did what we promised we would do, and nobody screamed about anything. So I can continue doing it, looking for venues mainly.
And John, I think the fact that people knew what what Uber was gave some credibility. It made it a little easier. Yeah.
Absolutely. I had a built-in base there. I'd been working on Uber for 7 years at that point. So I had a mailing list.
And now somebody's come around and stolen your name.
Who?
Uber.
Now we get
Oh,
food.
It's spelled wrong though.
Yeah, the Uber Alice. The hell with them.
Yep.
Um,
So
they don't.
Jay, tell us a little bit about about when you what your goal is with Jay, why you decided you wanted to help him bring back the Midtown International Theatre Festival.
One of the best experiences I've had before a quickie for the three people in the room that don't know me. I run Jay Michaels Global Communications. It's a public relations firm that works exclusively with independent stage and screen performers and productions. My fees are masochistically low because I know how much money you don't have. My goal is basically just to make sure your festivals, your shows, your work gets seen. Before I was me, I was all of you, and I, for about 25 years, produced and directed off Broadway. And one of the best experiences I had was working in the Midtown International in year 2, when I did Richard III, and the following year I did Faustus, and eventually I came on as its press rep. John is being very humble on 2 levels. Number one, Uber was not just a little publication. Uber organized off Broadway. Until then, it was something that people giggled at, thinking that it was a roach-filled room with folding chairs. It still is, but now it's organized. And basically, his magazine organized and put together and made off Broadway an actual thing. And then he went ahead and did the first commercial festival. Before anything, there was Spotlight, which was downtown, and there was the Fringe, which was downtown. When you get Midtown, it was only the Midtown International.
Well, it's interesting that you refer to it as commercial, and there's a reason for that I think we should actually talk about a little bit. The previous festivals were very scrappy, and the Fringe sort of developed a reputation for just odd, non-commercial work. Let's call it non-commercial work. You guys were a little bit more open to things that might have a future in the commercial world, I guess. And that's not the. I mean, there was also the truth that from the Fringe we did get You're in Town, but just in terms of the vibe was a little bit more serious producer doing serious work.
We got You're in Town because they performed it Midtown. They rented the American Theater of Actors to do You're in Town, and that's when it went to Broadway. So once again, Midtown commercial. John figured it out before anyone else did. His festival was also a festival. There were panels. There were short play festivals. This year, I'm hoping for a film festival in the middle of it. We have a cabaret that we're doing. A festival needs to be a festival. And the reason I was there in the first place and why I will stay, when the call went out, Jay, this is John, I had no problem doing the festival because it's a real festival. John vets each and every show. If you're in the festival, it's because we think you're great. It's not because we think you'll get us money, though that helps.
Okay, we're going to talk more about that with all of the festivals. I'm going to bring my other guests on. So I'm bringing back Matt, and I'm bringing back
Bringing me
Faith.
back. I was hoping you'd let Jay keep talking.
Welcome aboard, you guys. Welcome aboard. It's great to see young blood doing this. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, trying to, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so now we're all here. Hello. So the first thing I want to do, I want to actually just do an advice to the new festival moment. Like, what are the pitfalls, and what are the things that you would advise a new festival to understand and avoid? Or John, what would you want to tell them other than don't do this?
Well, I took 7 years off because I was in shell shock from 1 year. I got an email today from someone who declined to apply to the festival because they realized they couldn't make a profit. Well, I'm sorry.
Hello, this is theater. Profit?
This is reality talking. It's not about making a profit. It's about exposing your work in the best possible light in a limited situation. where you have very strict schedule, for instance, and use of space, and you've got to make the most of it.
Let me just jump
It's
in. There's another option that people have, which is to produce their show in a showcase independently. Everyone talk about this level of
it'll
production.
it'll
And you're
cost
not,
twice as much.
yeah, you're not going to make a profit there either.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you have an equal chance of making a profit in a festival as you do in your own independent
Yeah,
showcase
it's
situation.
zero.
No, I'd say about 3%. I wouldn't put it at zero. I really
Okay.
would. I'd actually put it at 5%. I'd be generous
It
about
should
that.
be a 1-2 punch. You do it at a festival for 3 or 5 nights, see what the show is, take it down, check the script, recast, etc., and then fundraise for a showcase.
So the thing I want to set with all of you is raise a hand if there's something that any of you, my guests, any of you want to say to each other or you want to add to anything. So just a little hand raise. Okay, Michael, you
Yeah,
add.
yeah. One of the things I was thinking about the benefit of a festival to the new guys, congratulations, is that you get the benefit of being in a festival. You get the cross pollination. You actually, people actually show up to see one show. They see you're doing something. They go, "Well, what's this? I didn't know this was playing. Who's in it?" And you have people coming to see your show. You have industry that didn't know about you that may come see your show that's going to see another show. So actually, the shows in the festival actually give shine and attention to each other. So it's a great benefit versus a showcase where it's a one-off, where you have to do all the heavy lifting of media and everything else. So I think festivals are really good for helping people see each other's work.
John, and any other? Okay, Jay, your turn.
On that, which is absolutely right, you're talking cross promotion, which is worth its weight in gold. But you have to be diligent. The one advice I would give you: if the play is brilliant, see if the playwright is brilliant. See if the company is brilliant. You're going to get a lot of people who said, "Isn't this a wonderful play? Hey, I never did this. What's it like to do a play?" And you're going to get a lot of people who are going to come to you needing help. So really know who your company is that you're bringing into your festival. And in terms of cross promotion, the only time that works is if it's a lot of good marketing, because a lot of shows are afraid to even talk about their own show. They're all, "Oh, I don't want to tell everybody about it. How silly! Then be a librarian." But if you push them, if you give them opportunity to cross promote, if there's marketing that they can utilize, then you're home free. Then it's gorgeous.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to the room, I'm not open for questions from the room yet, but keep your hands up and we'll come back to you. I want to keep this a conversation right now with the guys that have done it, advising the guys who haven't done it yet. And anything else, Matt and Faith, have you already thought in terms of how you will offer support to the people that come into your festival? What will you do with the people who actually don't know how to produce?
Um, yeah, yes is the short answer. I'd say probably what we know we're going to offer right now as part of the appeal is we know it's hard for playwrights, people who want to self-produce, to maybe book out a theater for a week, a month, right? For that extended period of time. But of course, these venues, they want to have the security. So what we're trying to offer with this is we're going to carve out a series of I think, what do we have it at, Faith? It's 100-minute slots, right? Including
105. So a 75-minute performance slot with like 15 on each end, and then a 1 hour rehearsal in the venue in the morning. Or no, so it would have to be 75-minute rehearsal in the morning, set up and breakdown as well. And then also we're going to be setting them up. We're going to be locking out a rehearsal space outside of the venue for like a 2 week period where we would also allot them with like a 2 hour rehearsal space
yes,
that they
possibly
could use.
in 1 2 hour block, or possibly in like 1 hour for each, like like on a weekend before and then the weekend before that. So giving them some rehearsal space, giving them some time in the venue, and then we also take care of front of house, commissions, ticketing. My question for Jay would be: you talked about, like, um marketing for these shows that are coming in is as good as gold. Our original plan was that we were looking at taking care of all of that business end so that they could really just focus on getting their team together and putting their show on. We have, as producers, money set aside for marketing for our own shows that we're producing alongside this. Is it worth investing in marketing infrastructure for these shows, or is it enough to that we're promoting the hell out of our own main shows, and then when people get here, we've got this really cool other thing going on too? Because we don't want to.
I
Yeah.
want to jump. I want to jump in with this because I did marketing for Midtown Festival. Um, you do market your festival. You do not normally you do not market the individual plays. And that's a very important thing for you guys to remember because you're going to get yourselves in
I see.
so much over your head that you're going to drown. You'll just drown. Um, every play that
I want
comes
to
into
take a
your
little
festival.
amendment to that.
Okay.
Yes, market your put the oxygen mask on you first before anyone else. However, if you get a proper marketing opportunities for the others, like there's the marketing plan for the festival, but the festival also provides this, this, and this. And if you have a marketing person or a marketing team that can help them individually, it only helps you because there are some shows that are going to perform to two people because they don't know how to get the word out. And you fail when they don't make money.
So to that point, we are also going to offer anyone like if you were to get a slot for the Manifestival, you and like the direct performers on the team, you all would be entitled to or we're calling them Manifestival passes. So we're not the first to have done this.
This,
I know. Go ahead, Faith.
I was going to say this concept comes from something that we picked up at the Edinburgh Fringe. We were over there last summer, working with the Space UK was the company, and they offer something called a Space Pass. So for performers and creatives that have a show with them, basically, if at Curtain there are empty seats, you can ask to see the show for free. Obviously, if tickets haven't sold. And that's something I think that we would like to instill with this festival as well. Obviously, we want people to buy tickets. That's the primary point. But also, I feel like if there are empty seats, who wouldn't want just butts in seats to see the show and hopefully be talking about the show? And that way, ideally, too, we start to
then they
create.
come up to you afterward and they talk to you about your show and you're networking and you're meeting people. It's all of that together. We think it's not just like your slot itself. It's you have this past, like if you sell out your show, great, congratulations, but you're gonna have artists who are hungry coming in to check your stuff out, and you're gonna be able to check their stuff out for free potentially. So sorry. Building off of what you were saying, Faith.
Yeah, no, just ideally, I think what we would really love to do is hone in on making it the kind of festival environment, a community that ideally we want to try to get these writers and creatives in touch with each other as much as they would like to be in touch with each other. And ideally try to, get them to want to go see everything else happening. Talking a little bit more later about, maybe the idea of a common theme within the shows, creating common mindsets and trying to find creatives who have different art styles, but relate to the type of art that's being done.
That's one of the things I did with Midtown Festival. Basically, I went through what did we have, like 40, 30 shows? How many shows were there, John? Do you remember? Generally, oh, the 3 years I was there, I don't even remember what the 3 years are. Let's say they're 30. I put them into groups, and I basically tried to have all of the groups that had similar themes know each other. We put them together, and we suggested that they cross promote with each other. So I think so obviously I agree with that idea. The thing that I wanted to John.
My theory of marketing is that, and specifically selling tickets, is that the shows sell their tickets to a lot of friends and relatives and whatever contacts they have. We market the festival as a whole. We send out press releases. Some of them If there's something very specific that comes up with a show, we'll send out a release just for that as many times as we can, or an e-blast. And we create a space for them, but we are not in the position of selling tickets for them specifically. It's just it's impossible
It's impossible.
I'm aiming for 50 shows this year. I'll settle for 40. I've got 21 so far. And yeah, it's a little daunting. That's all we can squeeze in, and we cannot give individual shows attention other than this kind of advice. By the way, my advice on producing shows in your own festival is don't do it. I've done it a couple times. The last one
I saw them.
The last one was a 10-minute show. I wrote, acted, and directed, and that was about the limit that I was able to do without shooting myself in the foot. When I did the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari, I spent a lot of money, and I wasn't able to follow up on a few commercial nibbles because I was too busy running the damn festival.
Wasn't there something called Beyond the Veil? Wasn't that also one of yours?
That wasn't in the festival.
Oh, I remember seeing it. I thought it was in the festival.
But I didn't follow up on that either, doing my own marketing.
So, Faith.
I had a question, and let me know if I'm straying too far from the current topic, because we can save it till later. But I would love to know from the other panelists, as we're starting to peel through submissions for our festival, are there any major green and red flags that we would potentially be able to pick up just based on application? Maybe there are certain questions we need to be asking. But yeah, just if you have any insight on just things that might help us off the bat be able to start to filter is helpful.
Michael, you might have some experience with
that. Well, I have an old joke that I was told when I first started reading plays, and someone said, if it's handwritten, don't read it. The person's going to be crazy. But anyway, I'm just kidding.
No, you're not kidding. It's true.
yeah, kind of yes and no. But yeah, so one of the things that I try and do is I try to make sure that you always get, a bio, a resume, along with the submission. You want to know what the person's educational and experience is, background, because that's key. If the person might have written an amazing script, but if they don't have the know-how, they don't have the training, it's going to be a disaster. And that's someone you don't want to be in the festival. I'm just going to be honest. You have to make sure that they bring the training and the experience, or if you want to follow up to say, hey, do you have any collaborators that are going to be working with you that have this experience? Because otherwise it's going to blow back on you. People are going to see it's going to be amateur night. It's going to look bad. They might not even get the play up. And then you've got a hole in your festival because they couldn't even get the show.
Completely. That's exactly what I meant when I said know the playwright, know the players, know the company. The play could be Hamlet, but if they're brand new, then you're holding a lot of hands.
That's a great follow-up question I wouldn't have thought to ask is, who else is on the project if the resume of the writer is a little bit on
a little thin. Yeah.
A little thin. It's, they might have a, great stage manager or, a great co-producer
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
I have a follow-up question, but I should give Jay and John the time to answer Faith's question if they have any thoughts. Sorry, then I can do my question.
I try to X-ray the application form to get an idea of who's behind it, if they have a director already, if they have experience producing a play, how many tickets did they sell last time, and how much did they get for it? But the process of applying and going through the steps and signing a contract is a little daunting. And I hope people will self-select, self-deport from the festival before it becomes a problem.
I just want to say to the room that I hope that you as artists understand a little bit better now, or maybe you already did understand that running a festival is hard. It's very hard. It takes a lot of work. A lot of writers I've seen that they've been upset and offended. Oh, that why are they charging so much for me to be in this festival? A lot of writers don't understand why they have to pay to be part of something like this. And the question the answer to it is because it costs money. The people
Shitting
that are
free.
people that are running this are actually doing it out of the goodness of their hearts, because there's other things that they could be doing that will make them a lot more money. Nobody gets rich that I know of from a festival. Um, John was not living in like a penthouse on Fifth Avenue from the festival. People who run festivals love new work. I think that most of them come from a really genuine heart of just wanting to support the work and wanting to be there and help people move forward. So just know that they are on your side. I know that these guys are. I don't know every festival in town. I don't know who's thinking what. I do want to make sure that Matt and Faith didn't decide that this was going to be something they were going to do so that they could actually afford to move into that penthouse on Fifth Avenue.
I was
Now
living in
we're
my studio for
That's
2 years.
Yeah.
that's why I
we're
signed up for theater in the first place. The financial stability. That's what
for
everyone
sure.
told me is the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
thing
yeah.
about working in the theater.
Yes,
I
yes.
Zero
actually
is a
live on Fifth
stable
Avenue, but
number.
it's Fifth Avenue in Brooklyn, so I'm not sure that counts.
I moved to New York at 17, and obviously since have become a millionaire, and it's just a great time. Acting is so lucrative.
And stress free.
So basically, what I've been trying to do for 34 years with TRU is help people to understand that producers are people, basically doing the best that they can in a business that is very, very challenging. So I think that I've broken through a little bit for a lot of the community. I think people understand it's not us versus them. It's basically us working with them. I just wanted to say that. I also want to let the room know that we will be open for your questions, because I'm doing this interview process, this specific thing about the guys who have done it, talking to the guys who haven't done it, because I thought it would be interesting. That doesn't mean that I don't want you to ask your questions and find out specific information about these three festivals. The Frigid Festival, I'm going to get, you know what? I'm going to try to get Ziv to come on and talk about the Frigid Festival, the Frigid New York and the Fringe Festival and all that. Maybe January 2nd. That'll be the follow up we'll do, because obviously Ares is not here. Ares Ziv is not here. So you were raising your hand, Faith.
Oh, yes. And then I want to make sure, Matt, I know you had a question, so I'll make sure you go right after me. I did want to talk to you guys a little bit, just one more marketing question. As this is the year that we're going to kind of officially launch both our production company and this festival, how soon is too soon? Our dates are basically mid-January to August. So I would love to know, like, how long of a submission process, like as we're taking submissions for the pieces in this festival, and so how early is too
Our,
early to announce?
our festival is happening July 13th to August 9th. They should know that for reference.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like, how many months prior should we be launching this festival, and then maybe by extension, how many months before that would you recommend launching the production company as a whole?
We started, and our history has been that we rent a theater in December and to perform the festival, and we start soliciting scripts around that time with a deadline in the spring sometime, but it can be extended almost indefinitely, and then we go up in summer. This year, because I've been down for 7 years and I didn't know the ground anymore, we started last April for next July. After painful, drawn-out negotiations with the theater, we're actually going mid-June through late July, and I am not missing a minute of that time. We're halfway there now. I want 40 to 50 shows. We have 21. One is teetering on the edge, and I wouldn't have started any later than I did. But your mileage may differ. We had a long period of 3 or 4 months that we only got 3 submissions. Don't know why. And then we sort of started, and we're getting, they're coming in, but they're not flooding in. And, this is our 19th year. So as much time as possible is what I would say. As far as deadlines go, we want to start scheduling in mid-April for a month, and then start selling tickets mid-May and open in mid-June.
That makes complete sense. Yeah.
We have to think about, people have preferences for when they want to be, and we've got all that down, and that will be the basis for the scheduling. And we've offered people certain performances and so on. It's a constant back and forth with them, and you can't short circuit it. Or you can just say, well, this is what you get, and then, it can be haphazard. I hate haphazard. My job is to make sure that the trains run on time via a production manager and tech director and everybody else. And I really, even in a second festival, I remember someone coming up to me in the lobby and saying, boy, this is so smoothly operated, which I turned away and rolled my eyes and tried not to laugh. But it's my goal to make it as smooth as possible, which means a lot of discipline for everyone. But more time is gold.
I want to get to the room's question soon. Okay.
My ardent suggestion is now start right. Present company excluded.
You have started already.
Yeah, so this is our we're fielding the submissions right now. We know that we need to, if we want to get good artists, good producers, good writers on board, that it's you reach out to them now, because this is when everyone is planning. Faith, I don't know if you meant, I interpret as you were more talking about when to sort of announce to potential audiences the festival itself.
Well, so a little bit of both. Yeah.
In the good old days of backstage, putting an audition notice in there was great publicity, because then everybody knew you were doing a show. Now is the time to tell everyone you have a company. Now is the time to say that you're soliciting. Even if there's no dates, just a press release that says we're alive and we're doing this festival. Now, everybody around could call and say, what's the dates? What's going on? I put out one tiny notice for the Midtown Fest at the very beginning on social media, and I got all these people, oh, I remember that. This is great. I can't wait. Tell me more. So by the time I got legitimate notices out there, we had hundreds of people interested. So my suggestion, you're doing it in the summer? You're doing it
yes, mid-July to early August.
Mm-hmm.
You send out a notice now saying season's greetings from, and you mention your company. Look for information on our inaugural season, where we have the finest theater in the world, and I just sounded like president in the world.
So,
and
believe me.
And then you put in, and then you put in, we are accepting applications very shortly. Please contact us for information. You will see how many people just what? Oh, tell me more. Get them where their thumbs are ready to talk to you.
Great.
So I want to go back to something that you guys said at the beginning, John and Jay, which was basically that you were gearing towards a Midtown venue because of the type of submission you were hoping for. You were calling it commercial. John, Michael, you were downtown. You were definitely downtown. Theater for a new city is really, it's got a vibe. I think it has a vibe, and I think that can you talk a little bit about the vibe and whether that vibe translates into the works that you do for the Dream Up Festival and
Yeah, I can. So Theater for the New City is located at 155 First Avenue. On so it's the Lower East Side. It's really downtown. The vibe is it's kind of like old New York. It's kind of a little bit scruffy, a little bit you know up and coming, a little bit got a little bit of grit. That's kind of the area. It's got and the neighborhood is also hipster as well, but it's also got real old New York to it. So, and Theater for the New City, since its inception, has always been an open door. Like you walk in, there's an art gallery, there's multiple theaters in the building, and it's always been that way, and it still is now. And that's what we try to be when we get submissions in for Dream Up. We try to give everybody a equal chance. It's not very some festivals. I started out in New York as an artist myself. As a writer, director, actor, and some festivals back in the day would be kind of cliquey. There would be people they went to college with and friends of a friend, and we've never been that way. And we've always been like most of the people we have in the festival we don't know. So we just try to look at the material on its own and just try to give everybody a fair shot.
John and Jay, in terms of the submissions that you get, do you see any tone or any style, or do you attract a certain kind of play, or does just anything goes for you?
I haven't noticed any trends this year. As you say, don't take it if it's handwritten. I haven't had any
So we came up
handwritten.
with one rule.
Yeah, that's a good rule. Typed, um, formatted, and I like to get a feel that there's an adult at the other end of the line. Today I found out that one guy submitted a script as producer and person in charge, and I think actor, and the playwright didn't know about it. That's a puzzlement.
Oh,
We'll get to the bottom of it. Um, the contract is quite explicit that you have to have rights to the script, so that's a requirement.
Matt and Faith, a good point. I'm sure you've put something in there about that.
Actually, I've noticed one trend because a lot of people have been contacting me because I'm on the press release for it. And I'm thrilled with this, very impressed. We're getting people that have worked in the industry because their email is not just, hi, I have a play, where do I send it? It's, hi, I've been in the business, da, da, da. I remember John from wherever, and I've done this play. I've worked at Lincoln Center. Da, da, da. They hand me a piece of their resume. Pardon the way this is coming out. They're trying to impress me already. And I think that's absolutely wonderful because it shows you're getting a solid person. I'm thrilled to turn it over to John because at least when he opens up the script, he knows, okay, this person is not, their diploma is not wet. It's actually quite wonderful to do that. That might be a good indicator when someone sends you a script. If they just say, here's my play, think about it. If they say, here's my play, the last one I did, and I won this award, and I was part of this. And by the way, I'm going to correct Michael on something. Theater for the New City is a landmark. There are 3 theaters left in New York of the original off-Broadway movement: the ATA, La Mama, and Theater for the New City. So I would go downtown for such a piece of history. I've had clients in that festival, and I love it. That brings you downtown. That brings you downtown.
Well,
Matt,
our application, when people send me a script, I send them an application form and a festival manual, which is, I don't know, 5 or 7 pages of boring stuff. And they fill out the application, and I read it and ask questions or whatever, and then I read the script. I mean, if they've gone to the trouble, if they're going to go to the trouble to produce a play, I can't tell very much from the script, frankly. Um, uh, I can see how it would work, but I no clue whether they're going to make it work. But at least they're trying, and we've got to that point where they seem to be semi-serious about it, and that and $300 will get you in the festival. Well, in the small theater.
Yeah. So I guess I'm going to go to the questions in the room. I wanted to ask the same question to Matt and Faith. Do you have any aesthetic of your own that you're hoping you'll reach? I mean, we all have taste, our taste level. I mean, we all love different things. How do you know when you're reading a script and you like it or you don't like it, whether that means it's going to work or not?
Um,
Bob, you've uncorked something you didn't even know you
I was gonna
uncorked,
say, how
and I'm
much
going to let
time do we
Matt take
have?
this away because this really, he's done
I
a
mean,
lot
like, well,
to.
no, because I am sort of, I'm cognizant of the time. I don't want to get it's kind of, like, do we have an aesthetic? Yes, absolutely is the short answer. We have a very specific vision for this manifesto as a whole. It's a manifesto. It should say something, right? Otherwise, fuck, it's not a manifesto. So we do have something that we want to say with this festival overall. And I think before I even get into like what exactly that is, I'm the question I had been raising my hand for earlier that I wanted to get to is we're sort of torn between, on the one hand, it would be great to create this platform for new artists, and if we could get as many on stage, we could get a lot of footfall, a lot of a lot of just like, buzz, right? Presence. People are there. You really get that. The more people are there, the more it feels like, there's a community to this, and
Like
not
a
just that
true
shows are
festival.
happening. But on the other hand, we have the opportunity to do a smaller number of shows that every single one of them this is what we think theater should fucking be. And so that was, yeah. So yes, we do have an aesthetic. But with time we have, my question to the veterans in the room would be 30 okay shows, right? Or like just you can just pick any number, right? But big number of it's okay, it's new, we're supporting it, or small number of awesome shows. This is exactly what we want to say. Everything just flows.
Well, I
Uh,
would go with the first.
Numbers game.
Uh, yeah. I mean, there's a couple of shows this festival that I really like and believe in and think will be hits, but that's just an educated opinion. Everyone could be a hit, and I hope they all are.
yeah,
And I'm not gonna look at your script and say, "Oh, I'm not interested in that." Well,
I, I
tough. It's
could
not
I could
about me.
I could talk from running 30, what is it, 20 years, 22 years of our play reading series, what people like and what people don't like. As short and positive as you might be that your taste level is everybody else's taste level, it isn't. Um, there are going to be shows that you absolutely hate that other people are going to absolutely love. Um, Michael, yes.
And I have one point too, and I have to agree with John and Bob as well, is that sometimes you find that you read plays and the what you see on stage is not what's on the page. So
Yeah.
you may think that it's going to turn out one way, and then you'll read something you're not crazy about, but then do it in a way that you love. And you're like, wow, I didn't know they'd do that. So I think if you kind of bet against yourself if you just go solely on the script because you don't know how it's going to be performed and the type of performers they're going to have, the music and the lights and so many other things. So you're just going off one element of it. So you hold yourself back if you're just doing based on the script.
So I'll go to Faith in a second, but I just want to say that from my experience as a playwright, in our play reading series, I insist on three readers. One reader, basically all you know is what they like and what they don't like. Two readers, you might get a consensus, you might not. 3 readers, you get a broader view of what different people think about different work. So just bear that in mind. Um,
Why do you have
Michael's
to
right.
choose?
You will be so surprised by some of the things that work much better than you were expecting. Faith.
So, kind of then talking about how, obviously some things can be so different off the pages. If in an application somebody said that their show has been done before, is it typical or appropriate to ask to view the footage? Are writers typically willing to show you a video of a past production if they
Yeah,
have it?
yeah. You can absolutely, if they have a video of it, you can absolutely ask to see what it looks like on stage.
Oh, oh, I object. A video does not show you what it's like on stage. Videos are deadly. They if you're using a one camera video, and if you're not actually filming something with the understanding of it being a film, you're not really getting the real experience of the show from that. There are some videos where you can tell. I won't say that it's never possible, but in general, a one camera video of somebody's performance usually is as flat as a pancake.
I'm
Yeah.
confused. Why do you have to choose? Why can't you spotlight these amazing 5 shows that are
Mhm.
going to Broadway? They're that good. And then you have a smattering of those that are really excellent entertainment.
Yeah, no, and actually that's part of the conversation that we've been having is we definitely we feel when we talk about it there has to be a way that we can have our proverbial cake and also eat it, right? It shouldn't have to be about a choice. It comes more down to our marketing because again and I should clarify something because there was a comment earlier that talked about like producing your show within the festival. So this whole thing started because we have 3 shows that one of them has been produced on some level before, and we really do believe in these shows, and we're going to be performing them in this space in repertory. So it's not like, oh, they're like gonna be one of the shows in the festival. They're having it's like a season, and so with every season, I think that a good artistic director should is trying to curate, trying to say something specific, not just well, this is what I like and this is what I don't like, but there is a specific message they're trying to get across. So that being said, now we have this Manifestival, which was an afterthought at first, but the more we've talked about it with other people and just amongst our team, it's really grown into like, wow, this has the chance to be something. We shouldn't snuff that out if we have it. So it becomes more about our concern lies in do we want to market it do we want to market it in a certain way that really ties it into our main season and our brand, because we're trying to curate a very specific brand? Whereas if we or do we want to bring in as many people and it might not align with the brand, we create some distance between the two, but you can have more people, more stuff that people let the audience take chances on stuff. Does that distinction make sense? That's really where our concern is.
Well, I want to go back and correct or adjust something that I said. Actually, there's no reason why you shouldn't do a festival that reflects your taste. That's fine. Every festival needs a point of difference. We as writers, we need to know which festivals to apply to. We need to know, does my work fit in your festival? Are you going to be open to what I do? Um, I think that there's a little bit of a difference between Dream Up and Midtown International. I think the word commercial just sort of lingers in my mind about that. Um, if you want to do a festival in which every play is really making a statement, then in let that be in what you're advertising. We're looking for plays that make a statement, so that the
Yeah.
people
Because
are
otherwise, like,
actually.
why the hell is anyone gonna do like my festival when there's all these other festivals that they could choose from, right? Who've been around for longer, who've done this, who have more infrastructure. It's like, well, then how do we stand out? What's so special about your festival?
Yeah, I think the
Yep.
point of difference is valid. I think it's something you can think about. It's worth. Of course, you need an answer now because you're in the middle of doing it now.
Yeah. Well,
um,
that's why you've got us here.
is it too late? I mean, when your submission went out, your submission request went out, did you indicate any kind of theme
Oh,
or
we've talked about it a little bit, and so like what we've decided on is, well, there's no reason we shouldn't like at least put the word out now and just, if because we know that there's plenty of people who, they've got good work and they're looking for something to do, but maybe they had plans for other things and they're just trying to find something, right? So hey, well, let's put ourselves out there and let's see what kind of stuff that we get. Then we can figure out. It's not a question of do we want to have a lot or do we want to have a few? It's a question of, well, how do we want to market what we do potentially have? So I think right now we're erring on the side of just if in doubt, submit. We want to put cool theater up. If you think your shit is cool, and you probably do think your shit is cool because you wrote it or you're producing it or you're acting in it, right? If you think your shit is cool, send it our way.
So just to piggyback on that, but to clarify, we have not like officially dropped submissions for this project. We have started like spreading the word within our network and like telling people about this thing. But because we haven't done the official online launch of the production company, which feels like the first step to then drop, and under this production company, we're having this festival, now submit. So it's
okay.
just been kind of getting our ducks in order before we can put it on the internet.
So let's talk timeline for a second. When were you planning on doing your festival?
The festival starts July 13th or July 16th. Our load in is the 13th.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
we run through August 9th.
So this is John Chatterton's nightmare that you're going to
Not
open
at
up
all.
going to open up for submissions 7 months before the festival.
Yep.
John, do you think they can do it?
I'm glad there are two of them. It'll lighten the load a lot. And I'm glad you're so young because you'll have the energy to do it.
I'm going
I
to have these
wouldn't.
two next year. I'm going to have these same people on. They're going to like 60-year-olds, right?
I'm gonna have a beard coming down to my
And don't
waist.
forget the gray hair.
The
Next year
grays.
you'll be
No,
sitting where John and I are sitting.
you'll. I'm sure you'll do fine. You'll find you're making decisions that you didn't expect to make, and you'll have to make them at the end of the festival. You'll have a whole bunch of caveats, and that's fine. It's whole experience.
Yeah.
Our caveats are no guns, no no fire, no smoke, and no animals. We had fire once. An actress in a solo show lit a tampon on fire on stage, and even when she was told not to, and we won't have her back. Um, Animals too messy and unpredictable. Guns
Terrible.
guns make for a lousy play. A play that ends because of a gun is a bad play. Someone was lazy.
Shame on you, Hedda
And
Gabler. Shame on you.
make it beautiful. Yeah, well, there are exceptions.
Owen, I'm going to ask you to start bringing up the questions from the room because I've held off too long on that. We need to get the people in the room engaged.
Sure thing. First question from Maureen Condon. Question for Jay Michaels. Please let us know how to apply for the film part of the festival.
We're still finalizing all of that. I have a film company that's actually going to, that's offered to curate it. So I'm working on all those details. Then I'll show this to John. And once that's all done, then there'll be an application process. But in the meanwhile, please feel free to send me any information so I can put you in my Rolodex. And when the time comes, this way I can send out notices regarding it.
I hope everybody's put an email address in the chat. Everybody in the room, and also any of my guest speakers. If you feel comfortable, actually put your emails in as well, so people can contact you. Owen, I know there's more.
Yes, a couple of comments from both RK and Kip about their own personal theater festivals that they've helped launch. I won't read them all because they're very long. Susan Crawford asks, could all the panelists say whether their festivals accept plays that have had previous productions, and if not, why not?
Yeah, this is a very good question. It's a very serious question.
Yes.
Yes, for Dream Up.
John?
I would be leery of a show that had just had a production because
Yeah.
they may not have any audience left.
That's
And
the real reason.
but if it's just had it a year ago or 2 years ago or a reading, I don't care. It shows that serious anyway.
Or you did
The
it in
Fresh Food
London.
Festival does
Yeah,
blackout.
London.
The Fresh Food Festival does blackouts. So if your show was done within the last 8 months, they don't want it. But if it was done a year ago, 2 years ago, 10 years ago, then it's just fine. And I totally agree with what John's saying. They may not have an audience anymore. They already squeezed it for the last run.
Owen?
Next, from George Furman, John/Jay, how many performances, how much time is allotted per performance, and what show times are offered, and how are they distributed? Thanks.
They
Good.
get three performances off the bat. We have two plans, Plan A and Plan B. Plan A is that you pay us a fixed fee of $300 to $500, and you're in the festival. And the fee depends on the size of the room, and you get three performances guaranteed. If you want more, and everybody wants more, well, we'll wait until we've closed submissions and see if there are any holes in the schedule and try to put you in there. Plan B, you pay according to the length of your show, the size of your theater, the number of performances, and there may have been another criterion. Anyway, it's a substantial fee, and you get a percentage of the gross revenue back. So it's really like you're renting a theater, but you're getting a lot of amenities, and you have fewer performances than you would normally if you were producing it yourself. Um, and so somebody wants, God forbid, 10 performances. Well, if they're willing to pay for them, I'm willing to give them to them. But I'm not going to give a Plan A show 10 performances from bitter experience.
Michael, how about you? How long are what are your slots and
Yeah, we everybody starts off with 5 performances, and generally we don't we program it in a way that we don't program all of the slots. So then we
Right.
do a first come, first serve. So people generally end up with 7 or 8 performances each.
okay.
And it's no additional money for additional performances. So
Owen, next up.
Sure. Pro Bono asks, what is the venue for the new Manifestival?
Oh yes, I did. I saw that. I answered it in the chat, but I'm happy to answer it here. We're going to be at Paradise Factory in the Lower East Side,
Right next door to La Mama.
right next door to La Mama, the little theater row.
It's a great
great
space.
neighborhood, great location.
It's a really awesome space. It's like a 40 to 45 seat black box.
Newly renovated.
Newly renovated after a 10-year renovation. So we really feel like we hit the jackpot
That's
with that
awesome.
one. The staff has been really wonderful and accommodating, and something we thought that was, and maybe you guys can speak to this if this is rare or not, but as we were looking at a venue, we were talking with the guy about performance schedules and what we would be allowed to do and hours. And he was like, I'm going to give you the key for a month.
Wow.
And the space is yours 24/7. And I was
Amazing.
like, what? So he was like, yeah, you could bring in people to do readings in the morning before your show, or you could have other shows running, which is kind of how this
And here we
Manifestival
are.
was born. Because how often do you rent a venue and find out you have so many more hours that art could be shown?
Yeah, that you're just not using, and it's like
Yeah.
so use them. But to answer the question about our festival specifically, how much time is allotted per performance? We are taking submissions, nothing longer than 75 minutes for your show, nothing shorter than 55. If you have like, I think Faith, if you have like shorts, you could get together with some other people if you want to do like a collection possibly, but right to get into into that, like, between 55 and 75 minutes. You get one performance because of that sort of like limited rehearsal time we can offer beforehand. And we want to try to get it to as many different shows while we're getting started. It'll be we're looking at 500 a slot, but you would keep 100% of whatever you gross. 100%
Wow.
goes to you.
And maybe you guys
that's our
should tell
trade-off.
us if we're crazy, but that's what we've
You're
been planning.
crazy.
Letting them keep 100%? Oh, well, then I guess it's a deal for you guys in the audience.
Yeah, you're the only festival I've ever heard of that would give 100% of box office. So that's a definite.
Get it while it lasts.
Wow.
I would
We'll see
love to
next
hear
year.
how that turns out.
So I have a question. I have a concern for you guys, for Matt and Faith. First of all, the same space that you're using for the festival is the space you're using for your 3 productions as well.
Correct. Yes.
So it's a 45 seat space, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So have you already, I assume you've budgeted for this already, right?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that you're not going to get that penthouse on Fifth Avenue from this, right?
Yes.
We are aware. Yes.
Okay, all right.
The goal really for our 3 main shows for this as producers was just ideally these are 3 shows that we really believe in, so we want to just do the work to build buzz about these 3 shows, get a proper like media packet, get reviews, hopefully work with a really great press rep and get some really nice reviews, so that maybe wherever we take the show from here could maybe turn a little bit of a profit, but
or perhaps maybe someone else comes along who is interested in sort of stepping in to take those shows further, right? And that would allow us to continue to do this, this festival. But you guys have brought up, and John in particular brought up the excellent point of trying to direct these, trying to direct, the production of our shows as well as the production of this festival. It's a huge undertaking. So that's part of why we know that if we're asking for something like $500 when someone could potentially pay less for more days at a more established festival, why the hell would anyone go to do that? Well, we already are going to be limited by the amount of work that we can do. If it gets big enough, we'd probably have to bring in like a third person just to specifically direct the festival. But that way, all of the onus really falls on, if you believe in your show, and I know that you do because you wrote it, then you should be rewarded for going out and marketing the hell out of it. That allows us to focus more on just the production side of things and getting our shows going. So that's the philosophy behind it. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, and we learn from it. That's the beauty of being young.
Oh, let me see if I can remember that.
Brilliant.
Let me think.
I think your 100% idea is brilliant, because if there's one way to get actors working, it's one way to get a company working is once they hear we'll take a percentage, unfortunately paranoia kicks in and they think, oh, we won't make money. But if you say 100%, another paranoia comes in, like $10, $9.99 marked down from 10. Suddenly they think 100% will make money. And now they have to promote the show. So,
well, we did the math. If they charge like $20 a head, they only have to fill half the theater to at least break even. So you could make a couple $100. You're not going to make a lot of money, but you
break even on the full, because they're bringing in the production. So
I was gonna say, Faith. Yeah, we can't do them dirty like that. You're breaking it even on what you're paying us.
Okay, there you go. That's what I was wondering if that's what you meant. All right. Yeah, because
these are all producers in the audience. You're
gonna have people coming in who are going to be spending anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 to get their show up. $25,000 is really not that much today in terms of what things cost. So let's finish up the questions, and then we're gonna let these people go get dinner, and I'm gonna make dinner too. Owen, what's next?
Kate asks, are readings allowed or full productions only? I assume that's for everybody.
Yeah, let's start with John and Jay. Are you going to have a readings section where people can submit for a reading, or is it all productions?
Give us $200 and you can have a reading. Our TD will show your person how to run the light board. You can use our keyboard, and they're quite limited this year because the room has said we can't do readings in the daytime during the week because there are other occupants in the building, including a police precinct, and they don't want foot traffic during the day. We have tech rehearsals
Ouch.
in the daytime, but we'll do our readings in the evening. I've always liked having readings, and sometimes they ended up in the festival as a play, a production the next year or whatever. But this year that we're going to backpedal the readings, but we'll have them.
Michael, how about
Uh,
you?
I was just going to say quickly, we'll do
Go ahead,
readings for
go ahead, Matt.
$199.
Oh,
Okay,
199. You're
I had to get that
send
joke in.
them
I'm
all to
sorry.
you.
No,
Yeah.
you're
we will
undercutting
we
them.
will be doing readings. We will be accepting reading slots. I don't think we figured out the details on if there's a price, but I just want to I saw the joke. I had to get it in.
Yes, we do readings as well. We
For
do readings.
198.
We do one act. We do full length. Yeah.
You can have all our readings.
Oh, okay. Great. Send them our way.
I will.
Okay. Who's Faith? Yes.
No, just one thing that I was going to piggyback onto what Matt said. Yeah, we're still developing where readings could work within this massive thing that we've got going on. But I think the one distinction we talked about was keeping all readings or workshops in the mornings, daytime, and then anything that's a fully staged production would be happening in the evenings. I think that's the bare bones of how we're trying to break it up.
Owen, you need to keep this moving.
Yep. All right. Susan Crawford, related to my previous question about previous productions, do you expect your production to be a quote world premiere, or for example, which then complicates subsidiary productions at other festivals or new play exchange?
Do you guys know what that means? I mean, this is a real issue.
I do know what that means.
It's a real issue in for writers. Writers are basically we're up against a wall with wanting to submit our plays to places that only want to do them if they've never been done before. They want to advertise it as a world premiere. We think that's nonsense, and the National New Play Network agrees with us. And basically, what they've created is what's called the rolling world premiere, where three or more companies can each call something a world premiere, and they basically have the play done and move from one place to the other. So the question that she's asking you, is whether or not you have any investment in saying that this is a world premiere. Like when we're marketing our play that's in your festival, do you want us to say world premiere?
Of course. Of course, world premiere, guest artist, whatever it is to bring in an audience. Orson
So
Welles
what?
once said,
So you
"Do an
understand that?
apricot unicycle in an aquarium if that's what the audience wants."
So the problem there, Jay, is that once we say world premiere in your festival, then when we go to submit it to another company, another theater company around the country, they will see that it had a world premiere in your festival, and they will say, no, we can't do your play.
Well, then you say world premiere of the workshop production of.
Okay. All right. So basically, Susan, Jay is saying be creative with the language and how you present it.
We have a question from
Honestly, it's a big problem for writers.
both. We've had a couple of people talk about box office, but Kip wants to know if any box office is kept by the production for the festivals that have not yet discussed.
What was
Other than the 100% with the Manifestival, I think John has one. He already talked about it. He said there's one of his contracts where you actually do get. Did you say they get to participate with some of the profits?
Both on Plan A and Plan B. In Plan A, we take the first 40% of, not of the house, but of maximum number of tickets. Say it's a 100-seat theater. We will take 40 tickets worth of revenue from the door and split the rest with the show 50-50. The most the show can get if they sell every single ticket at full price is 30% of the door. Under Plan B, you elect a percentage of the gross. If you pay a certain fee, you might get, say, 30% of the gross. If you pay double the fee, you get 60% of the gross, and so forth. It's based on gross, not profit.
Michael, how about theater? How about Dream Up?
With the Dream Up Festival, you pay a participation fee. I think it's $9.50, and the artist gets 60% of the box office, and TNC gets 40%.
Okay, so there's many ways of doing this.
Yeah.
Any more? Any others? Or can I eat? Only kidding. I love having you guys here. Has Owen left?
This has been a great meeting. I thank you for setting it up.
Yeah, Bob, thank you.
Thank you all. This has been an education.
Yeah, thank you to the other panelists. This has been, Matt and I will have so much to talk about.
Faith and Matt, we're definitely going to keep an eye on you guys, and I definitely wish you the best.
Thank you.
Same here.
So I want to thank you guys.
Please feel free to give me a call. I'd love to learn more about your festival. It sounds great.
We're going to talk.
So I'm going to say a few words to YouTube audiences. It's just a way of sort of winding up. So I'm going to thank John and thanking Jay. I want to thank Matt, and I want to thank Faith and Michael. And notice how I removed everybody as I was saying it so that I could have the screen. So if you're out there in YouTube land and you watch this and you found it of interest or useful in any way, and you want to be part of the room, I can make that happen. You just have to email me at trunltd@aol.com, trunltd@aol.com, and we'll add you to the list and we'll invite you every week. Have lots of interesting things scheduled for nothing next week. I'm taking off the day after Christmas. Call me crazy, but well, you can call me crazy anyway. But we will be back on January 2nd, and I'm working on topics for January, February, March, April, May, June, July, etc. Love doing this. Love having everybody here. Happy for the support that I'm getting from the room. Thank you for everybody who's here in the room today. We we started this as a thing for what was it called? Shutdown. It was like we wanted it to be free and available for everybody. So it's still free and available to anybody who really can't pay, but it's only $12. If you want to support us, you can support us by coming for $12. Or you can join as a member. Big news for those of you who don't know us, it doesn't really mean anything, but for the first time in about 10 or 12 years, we're actually going to be raising our membership price. Right now, we're $95 for a year membership. We've been $95 forever and ever and ever. But in 2026, we're going to be raising to $105. So now's a good time to join as a member if you're interested in joining as a member. We give all sorts of workshops. Every workshop we do is discounted for members. We have a play reading series and a musicals reading series. We waive the submission fee, it's a $25 submission fee if you're not a member. The only reason we have a submission fee, those of you who hate people who have submission fees, the only reason we do it is so that we can make this a benefit for people who are members and encourage people to be members of TRU. If you're a member of TRU, it's not a hardship for you. You actually get to go to interesting workshops. You come here every weekend. We do tons and tons of stuff that I think if you're really serious about your theater career, you would find of use. We have a producer mentorship and development program, a foundations level and a masterclass level. If you're a member, then you become eligible for the producer development program. So there's so much. So And if you just want to give us a year end, it's the end of the year. Get that tax donation in, right? So if you want to do that, you can just not email, go to trudonate.org, trudonate.org, trudonate.org or .com. Either one of them works, actually. Give us whatever you can afford. It's a tax deduction for you. So everybody's happy, right? That's it. Wishing you a blessed Christmas and end of year holiday season. Happy New Year to everybody. I hope that we find some solace and comfort in the coming year, and I hope that our country heals. So that's it. Thanks, and please come back and be with us again.